What a weekend in boxing. Gervonta Davis did what we thought he would do. I said Frank Martin would give him a competitive fight, and according to the scorecards, it was 67-66 Gervonta Davis until the knockout came. Gervonta Davis lowered the boom on Frank Martin in 8 rounds. Experience and IQ played a role in this fight. Frank Martin had all the physical tools to compete with Gervonta Davis, but it came down to experience and boxing IQ, and there are levels to this. And I don't know how much Frank Martin was getting paid to fight Gervonta Davis, but Shakur Stevenson was offered $1 million. And I believe Frank Martin thought he had a better chance beating Gervonta Davis than Shakur Stevenson. Not because he thinks Shakur Stevenson is a better fighter, but the style Gervonta Davis fights with. Frank Martin and Errol Spence said the same thing, that Gervonta Davis gives up rounds at the beginning. He is a slow starter like a lot of the great fighters are. I'm not calling him great, but like a lot of the great fighters are, he's a slow starter. And what he goes in there is, Gervonta Davis is a master in studying patterns. And Frank Martin kept doing the same thing, going against the ropes, going the wrong way. And I knew it was just a matter of time before Tank Davis catches him. I predicted in 8 rounds, and I said it would be close. And it was close until Gervonta Davis lowered the boom. So I'm not shocked it went 8 rounds. It was a competitive fight. And I knew Gervonta Davis would beat Frank Martin because Frank Martin has enough tools to compete with Tank Davis, but he doesn't have enough tools to beat a fighter like Gervonta Davis. The only question I have, what is next for Gervonta Davis? He said he wants all the champions and everything like that. So is he going to fight Lomachenko next? Bob Arum said they've been in talks with the PBC to set that fight up in November. Even though Lomachenko's long in the tooth, and I would give the edge to Gervonta Davis at this point in their careers, but it's still a fight I would love to see. Or maybe we'll get that fight between Shakur Stevenson and Gervonta Davis. That's another fight I would love to see if Shakur Stevenson looks good in July. Now, another fight that took place was Benavidaz against Gvosdyk. Now, we got different opinions on this fight, and these are very credible boxing content creators. One says they thought Gvosdyk won the fight. The other says they thought David Benavidaz dominated Gvosdyk. And I'm in the middle of it. I think Benavidaz did enough to win the fight, but I wasn't really impressed. I mean, he hit Gvosdyk with everything, including the kitchen sink. It could not wobble or hurt this guy. Another thing is, his gas tank is not the same at 175 than it was at 168 because he got to expend more energy throwing punches at the bigger guys. At 168, he's fighting smaller guys, so it's easier to break them down. At 175, it's a different story. He wasn't a big puncher at 168. It was accumulation punches at 168. At 175, his punching power is almost non-existent. He is food for Bivol at 175. He is food for Better BF at 175. And if he goes back down to 168 to fight Canelo, that weight cut is going to kill him. I mean, Benavidaz came in the ring yesterday at 189 pounds. So to me, Benavidaz is stuck between a rock and a hard place. He loses to all 3 of those guys. What I took away from the fight is his defense looked better. He moved his head a little bit more. But when it comes to his gas tank is not the same as it was at 168. Also, his punching power is diminishing as he moves up in weight. I mean, Benavidaz did great body work in this fight, and he hit Gvosdyk with clean shots. Could not wobble him. We could not even get a reaction out of Gvosdyk. My question is, what does Benavidaz do next? Does he go back down to 168 and become a weight bully again and wait for the Canelo fight? Or does he wait to fight the winner of Bivol and Better BF? Like I said, I think he's between a rock and a hard place. Or maybe they look for an easy touch for him at 175 so he looks impressive. We shall see what's next for what his fans call him, the Mexican Monster. Last but not least, the boogeyman is no longer Liam Paro upsets Subriel Matias in his own country. Congrats to Liam Paro. Maybe now this will open up the 140-pound division. A lot of these guys were reluctant to fight Matias at 140 pounds because he was known as a boogeyman. Now the boogeyman is gone. Maybe we can get some unification matches at 140. The most shocking thing to me this weekend is Subriel Matias and David Benavidaz gas tanks look very different than they did in the past. But anyway, what are your thoughts? What's next for Gervonta Davis and what's next for David Benavidaz? Leave your thoughts and comments below. Jay Beezy, I'm gone.